Welcome back to DEGN Talk. I'm your host, Jack, and today I'm with a project called Nesa, and we have two guests, Aria and Yue. So, Aria, can I start with you? If you give me a introduction, that'll be awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I'm executive manager here at Nessa, previously full stack dev, and I've been developing for 20 years now.
Wow. And Yue, please.
Everyone, this is Yue. I'm a chief scientist at NASA. Um, Also, at the same time, I'm a researcher of AI, and before that, I was a consultant. I was an engineer at different places. It's pretty exciting to combine, distributed computing, blockchain, and AI together.
Wow, fantastic. Could any one of you give me a quick introduction of Nisa?
Maybe Aria will be the best person to give
Sure.
this.
Thanks again, Jack. Nessa is a privacy-focused security company combining both blockchain and AI. We've pioneered a state-of-the-art technology covering end-to-end encryption for AI inference. And this is our Nessa EE technology that we've been pioneering. You'll see it on Twitter. You'll see various companies using it as well. And we're really excited to talk about it.
Awesome. Before we dive deep into Nessa, Yue, I would love to know your web journey, your Web3 journey thus far.
Right, right. It has been pretty funny because I have to say I'm not a person who have been deeply into this for many, many years. My early experience is more like as a college guys, like I just like trade a bit, like very small amount. I had a few different exchanges. However, I think I forgot at least one of this exchange or two of them, like the password or something. The weird thing that a few years back, the only account I hold still recover heavy loss and even makes me some like small profit. So that's the interesting part. And my really deep dive, I think, started like a year, 2 years ago when we try to say the interaction or the intersection between the AI and blockchain. So that I spend more time and doing this job. It's pretty fascinating, but at the same time, I think we need to be much more careful regarding the privacy, security, and many things, so that we can be on the safer side, but at the same time enjoying the power of the blockchain.
Yeah, no, Yue looks like one of those secret millionaires, right? Crypto millionaires. You can
You can
tell
just
from his.
tell. You
Yeah.
can just tell.
Yeah, Aria, please tell us about your Web3 journey thus far.
Absolutely. I think, like a lot of us, similar to you, too, I got into trading a little bit here and there quite a long time ago.
Oh, so
And
you're the
then
millionaire, basically.
I wish we were all later on, again, with my background as a developer, as Ethereum got popular and these more programmable networks became popular, I started to sort of dive deeper and sort of want to know how they work. So just instead of the surface level, just trading as a user, I wanted to
Yeah.
get in some developer experience. So I started with like blockchain, smart contracts, Solidity, of course, getting like a ENS name and playing around with that. And then of course there are a lot of standards, these ERC standards that you have to be familiar with if you want to be interoperable with other networks. And so I got familiar with those and eventually led to more complicated and higher level programs. So that's my journey. Of course we went over with some companies doing like their NFT drops and really just like different experiences that I wouldn't get in Web 2. And that's sort of my journey there.
It all starts with curiosity, isn't it? It's the starting point of all of our journeys. So, yeah, slowly after, how did the journey of building Nissa begin then? I'll start with you then, Yue.
I think because originally, as I mentioned, my primary research is focused on AI. So, currently we know the ChatGPT changed the world. There's a Llama, there's a Chen, there's a DeepSeek, there's a lot of things. However, we also realize the lack of the privacy, which means when you use these large models for daily jobs or even like most important sensitive information like financial decisions, you send everything to this essential place, which means there's no privacy, there's no protection. Also, at the same time, on the other hand, it's pretty expensive in general because at universities we're paying thousands of dollars per month for this API cost. So what actually bring me to the projects because of the motivation saying we can at the same time to bring down the cost and at the same time to provide some additional layers of the privacy and security to the users. that's a core motivation. But once I joined the project, I realized we have a lot of different peoples regarding researchers, engineers, security researchers, AI researchers, also the researchers on the finance, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I can tell more about this project later. But in general, the motivation to balance the privacy and the speed and the expense of the large AI models and the great diversity of the teams brings me to the project.
Awesome. Aria, what about you?
So again, building on the foundations of Web3, one of the big ones is of course just privacy. And I think this is what we're delivering here at Nessa. That's our core focus. And I just don't see a lot of that in the space. And I think personally, even before this project and even before Web3, I've always been sort of privacy oriented. And I think it's sort of our fundamental right as people. This project sort of brings that to the forefront, and it's nice to deliver on something like that.
Yeah, it's great to see. It's refreshing to see because there's lots of AI stuff and there's lots of privacy stuff, but we haven't really seen any that's AI and private, right? So this is amazing. Please give us a really in-depth intro of Nessa.
Right. It'll be in depth, but of course, just in maybe 2 minutes version. So in short, like NASA is a decentralized AI platform for fast and private inference. Again, the reason we mention for the privacy is because you don't want to send your sensitive financial information even to the centralized large players, right? Because there might be hackers, there might be information leakage, there might be a lot of things happening. So we want to make this decentralized for sure. So naturally, we design some mechanisms to split the large AI models into small pieces so that each of the person can run part of it for you. However, then naturally you will say there's a challenge, which means many people may have the data of you. So that's why we introduced one technology called Equivariant Encryption. We have already put this preprint online. You can quickly check it out. And I think we're going to present this at some of the academic places, I mean, the conference workshops very soon. This technique called EE, the core idea will be converted your data and also the AI model at the same time into the encryption format. So with that in mind, even us or the central players or the cloud service or whoever running your model or inference won't be able to say whatever on your data. But this brings another layer of the challenges, which means the speed. Because as you can see, there's no free lunch. When you create something fancy, there might be some additional overhead we need to overcome. Luckily, the EE technique it's not burning almost any like overhead. It's pretty lightweight. And also at the same time, we have a group of researchers focusing on the fast inference, which submit a paper, and we also have this online for the large models, which means we're using prefix caching, continuous batching, and a lot of like chunked preview and other different technique to speed things up. So basically, what we're offering will be a private, decentralized but fast large model inference platform so that we don't need to sacrifice privacy for speed, but we can achieve almost both of them at a good balance. And also, another fancier version will be, as you can see, for the centralized AI models, they're pretty expensive. And once we make this decentralized, it's much more affordable because we use a spare computational power from different peoples to fire this up. So in short, we use decentralized AI, we use the fast inference, we use the private inference to do this great balance of the large AI models on blockchain.
Sounds amazing. Sounds something that I don't really understand, but this is a time of education for everybody that's viewing this podcast and myself, so it's amazing. Aria, I'll bring the next question to you. What are the current focuses at Nessa right now?
Of course, good question. So always we're looking at both fronts, refining both business front, technical front. I think for the business side, let's get into it. We've obviously pioneered this technology, state of the art. It's obviously brand new and does not have crazy adoption yet, and that's what we're working on. So working on evangelizing this technology, looking at the companies that might have the biggest need for it, where it might make the biggest impact, and reaching out to them, sort of getting an understanding of their use cases and how it might work within their organization. And you can see some of these companies actually if you sort of just keep an eye on our tweets. We have some like partnership tweets that we typically send out, just so the public can have a glimpse into what we're doing on the business front and who we're talking to. And this is, I mean, it's a really important thing. It's been really valuable for us, the feedback that we've learned. I mean, without talking to big companies, you can you can just guess how these companies might be using it and just hope for the best. But actually getting in touch with them, having pilots with them, and just being in close coordination is really helpful for us, and it determines sort of with a heavy weight which direction we're moving in, and also like what we're developing and planning to develop. I think for technicals, I think Yue has given a great answer just before my answer here, so I'm going to let him get a little into the technical side.
Perfect. I think another thing we're focusing, at least on the technical side, will be again like we still try to better balance the privacy and the speed, so that we can achieve both of the fast inference for the users and also at the same time it's fully secure, fully private. The fundamental reason is because, as we can say, the ChatGPT or other large language models, within these models, there's a lot of like a complex so-called nonlinear layers, and these are taking a lot of time to encrypt. So that's why we try to balance this well. And I think at least on the on the practical side, we're doing pretty good job on this. And that's why I think this can be pretty good for both of the general users and also the enterprise.
What's in store for your users and for your community?
Right. I think this is a natural transition. The reason is because what we're actually offering is not only for the general developers, we're also bringing this to the enterprises. And I think at least to my understanding, we have the major things we're offering will be this private encrypted inference of the large AI models, and we already supported thousands of different models in our model store from the the GPT based families to other open source like Llama and etc. and also to the video and image generation. I think for the end users, for example, just as a general user, they can use your API and they can also use your the GUI based, I mean the web based page to do their daily jobs, and it's already I think there's playground on the Nessa.ai not Nessa.ai website. But for the enterprise clients, and actually we have this the enterprise product, which means we have this server blind AI solution, and the people can use the APIs, or they can contract with us to power up their in-house large model AI needed. And I think that'll be pretty cool because most of the enterprise won't actually use the web-based page-based thing, but they can use the API easily. They can seamlessly plug this into their product. Yeah, I think that's perfect in my view. Anything, Aria, you want to add?
Yeah, I think you do a great job with these things. I'm gonna let it sit right there.
Yeah, no, seems you guys have a lot to build, right? You're getting ready for enterprise clients as well as end users, right? Providing them APIs and etc. So, Aria, what can we expect in terms of roadmap for the next 6 to 12 months?
Next 6 to 12 months. Okay, obviously a very exciting time for both us and all our users, enterprise and end users, of course. We have, I know we tweet here and there, and we're not extremely vocal about our announcements. But in the background, we're always monitoring, we're always tallying user activity, both Discord, on our website, everywhere, a minor program as well. So keep that going because we're watching, even though we're not very. In addition to that, so we of course want to improve and enhance the features that we were delivering. So just across like our playground and just for our enterprise users, we want to get some additional sort of features, you can call them maybe. This is enhanced modality support. This is enhanced support for custom models. So some of the things we've been talking about, we want to move them from maybe like their alpha and beta status and promote them from where they are right now. And so that's what we're working on. I'm sure we'll see announcements around that. And I think the biggest point in some Web3 companies' timeline, everyone is familiar with and everyone has their eyes and ears open for. I will say that just keep your eyes and ears posted, and we're just as excited as you, and we're preparing for that time, just as close as you are to the edge of your seat. So I think we'll have a really nice 6-ish months to look forward to.
Now, give me some alphas, right? Aria, give me some alphas. Like, what's coming? You guys have events, campaigns, etc. that you guys have in store for the for your users or enterprises, etc. clients?
So campaigns, I think the biggest one, maybe for those listening in on this podcast, the biggest one that we would sort of have everyone look at, if they could, if they're involved in AI at all, if they have a project involved in AI at all, or even if they just like trading, like I assume many of us do. I do. So this is going to be fun for me as well. We have this new program we're launching. Um, we're launching this concept called DIES, and this is a decentralized AIs where a company or a project, if they have an AI focus, they can launch through our platform, through our DIE platform. And we tweeted about this a little bit ago, and we have a form on our tweet where you can apply to be part of our launch cohort. So this means when we actually launch this very soon, you can be one of the first ones in our group that gets promotion, that gets additional credits for inference. So your AI project will really be able to just hit the road running from day one. And this is like just a really great benefit. Like this is just free credits that we're giving away to projects who want to come to our platform. And what you do is, of course, you launch a project on our platform. You're able to launch a token if you'd like, in sync with your actual project launch. And it's a great way to just get some eyes on what you're doing. And initially, it's going to be a dry run, really. So you can test your launch, you can test a token and see how things go, maybe how the public reacts, how much feedback you get from X, Y, and Z features that you have. So it's a really great program, this dry program. And I would, again, suggest those to check out our tweets. I think we reposted it, the application or the form, just a few days ago, this past week.
What kind of tip and suggestions for users and enterprise, people, builders and devs, you know, what are there any tips for you, like from you, or kind of suggestions? Give us your thoughts.
Uh, Tips, I love it. I mean, I think really just keep building. That's the one thing I can tell people. Just keep building and take advantage when you can get credits or promotions or be part of a program that gets eyes on your project, because I think this space is moving extremely fast. Obviously, new news about AI comes daily. If you look at your tweets, if you look at Twitter, you see what everyone's building, and it's awesome. Keep your head down, build, and just get
Get people,
feedback.
yeah, get people to know. Yeah, tell people about it, right?
Yeah,
Um,
build something useful. Yeah,
Very
that's
fast
that's
market, which really leads me to my next question. Really, I mean, before we finish, Yue, this one's for you. I would love to know your views on the current market, like the AI and the meme coins and the whole whatever the previous couple of months was.
Right. It's yeah. It's interesting and it's a great question. It's up and down, right? Like people need a strong heart in a sense, but also at the same time it's an exciting moment because if there's a fluctuation, which means there's a chance. But I will be more focused on the AI side because that will be more main expertise. And so on the AI side, I feel people already see, even most people are only see the ChatGPT or Gemini or something like that. But honestly, like every day, there's some like big models comes out, and it's evolving very very fast, which means like we have a new model, new benchmark, a new big headline. On the research side, we hear almost some criticisms every day. But I think what we need to really focus on is that on the long term guarantee or the infrastructure of the AI, which means how to make sure they are safe, they're trustworthy, they're not leaking our data, they're making good financial recommendations. So that's why overall, my general thought of views will be we're not doing the racing, saying, oh, we're not racing on the building another AI model, but we're just trying to build a foundation or the infrastructure to make sure things are private and secure, and at the same time, it's relatively cheap, so which means everyone can use it. I think that'll be some great things I have the vision for, which means don't chase the popular things, but actually focus on the long-term things. I think similarly as Aria mentioned, like but of course being on the first or the first few will be also be good things. For example, building this decentralized AI applications on top of our platform. And again, like the general motivation for me to be to combining the AI and blockchain will be building the foundations to provide um, to provide this secure and private things for whatever the AI models tomorrow, whatever is the ChatGPT 3, 4, 5, GPT 7, 8, 9, or it doesn't matter. So that'll be interesting to me, and I think that's beneficial for general for society.
Aria,
Yeah,
what's your
I
take on
agree.
this?
I think similar to what I said in my last answer, I'm just amazed at all the innovation and progress everyone in the space is bringing. There's so much change. It's happening so fast. It's more than I could have anticipated or imagined, and I just feel lucky and honored that I'm able to work on something that's supporting everyone in the space.
Awesome, awesome. Well, there's so much replicas in AI, right? There's so much kind of copycats of each other. There's nothing, we haven't really seen any much innovation for quite some time. And I think Nessa is one of those projects that would really bring some actual real innovation. So I will be hoping Nessa will make it big one day. Aria and Yue, thank you very much for your time on the podcast today. We'll be wrapping up now. And yeah, and to the audience, please follow Nessa. Go on to the website, look at the project, see what you want to build with them, and I'll catch you guys in the next one on DEGN Talk. Catch you later. Bye.